Hello friends, in last lecture we were solving the questions related to polynomials, so we'll continue with that only. So let us see the next question or the first question of this lecture. Question is, if hx is equal to 2x cube plus 6a square minus 10 x square plus 6a plus 2x minus 14a minus 2 is exactly divisible by x minus 1 but not by x plus 1, then find the value of a. Then find the value of a. Okay, it is given there is a polynomial hx which is divisible by x minus 1 but it is not divisible by plus a, then we have to find the value of a. So let us see how to solve this. See, hx is divisible by x minus 1, therefore I can say h of 1 is equal to 0, that is 2 into 1 cube plus 6a square minus 10 into 1 square plus 6a plus 2 into 1 minus 14a minus 2 is equal to 0. So here you will get 2 plus 6a square minus 10 plus 6a plus 2 minus 14a minus 2 is equal to 0. So 6a square, then plus 6a minus 14a, then this plus 2 minus 10, again plus 2 minus 2 equal to 0. So 6a square minus 8a, now this minus 2 plus 2 cancel, minus 8 is equal to 0, that is 3a square 4a minus 4 equal to 0. Okay, now here we'll get the two values of a because this is a quadratic polynomial or quadratic equation we can say. So try to get those two values of a, then I will give you the remaining solution. Okay, so this can be solved in this way further. 3a square minus 6a plus 2a minus 4 is equal to 0. So 3a is taken common, a minus 2 plus 2 is taken common, a minus 2 is equal to 0, that is a minus 2, 3a plus 2 is equal to 0, therefore a is equal to 2 or a equal to minus 2 by 3. Now among these two values, one is the value of a. Might be both the values are of a are correct. So but here there is one more condition, that this given expression should not be divisible by x plus 1. So after this what we have to do, think for a as well as note it down, then we'll see the remaining solution. Okay, so now see, there are two values of a, and condition is that the polynomial should not be divisible by x plus 1. That means I can say h of minus 1 should not be equal to 0. So we have to check the value of polynomial at minus 1 in these two cases, for 2 as well as for minus 2 by 3. And one among these two polynomial value of polynomial at x equal to minus 1 should not be equal to 0. Here it is divisible, so h1 is 0. Now hx is not divisible by x plus 1, so h of 1 should not be equal to 0. So first of all we'll find the polynomial with these two values. Okay, now we'll find the polynomial hx for a equal to 2 as well as for 2 minus 2 by 3. So for a equal to 2, hx is equal to 2x cube plus 6 into 2 square minus 10 x square plus 6 into 2 plus 2 x minus 14 into 2 minus 14 into 2 minus 2. This is the polynomial when we have a equal to 2. So 2x cube plus 24 minus 10 14x plus 14x, sorry, this is 14x square minus 28 minus 2, that is minus 30. Okay, so this is the polynomial for a equal to 2. Now we have to check whether h of minus 1 equal to 0 or not. So therefore hx is equal to, now h of minus 1. See, if this is equal to 0, if we get h of minus 1 equal to 0, that means polynomial is divisible by x minus 1. Then in that case this won't be the correct value. Okay, so h of minus 1 is 2 into minus 1 cube plus 14 into minus 1 square plus 14 into minus 1 minus 30. Therefore h of minus 1 is equal to minus 2 plus 14 minus 14 minus 30. Therefore h of minus 1 is equal to, see, plus 14 minus 14 will cancel out, and here answer is minus 32. Therefore I can say h of minus 1 is not equal to 0. Therefore I can say x plus 1 is not a factor of this, or I can say therefore hx is not divisible by x plus 1. So that value of a is correct. Okay, still we didn't got the value of polynomial at x equal to minus 3 by minus 2 by 3, but still I can say this is the correct value. If, see, there are two values, if I put a equal to 2, we are getting the conclusion that polynomial is not divisible by 1. That should be the, that is the in the question as well. But for our confirmation, now what we will do, we'll find the value of, or we find the polynomial for a equal to minus 2. Over there again we'll check the value of polynomial at x equal to minus 1, and then definitely that will be 0. Okay, that means if I put a equal to minus 2 by 3, this polynomial will be divisible by x plus 1. That's why a equal to minus 2 by 3 is not the correct answer. Okay, so my answer is a equal to 2. But note it down, then we'll definitely check whether for the second value polynomial is divisible by x plus 1 or not. So first note it down, then we'll see that second case. Okay, so now second value of polynomial was minus 2 by 3. Second value of a is minus 2 by 3. Okay, so now we'll find the value of polynomial at x equal to minus 2 by 3. Okay, for a equal to minus 2 by 3, we'll find hx. 2 into minus 2 by 3 cube plus, not over here it will remain 2x cube only, a equal to minus 2 by 3, so plus 6 into minus 2 by 3 square minus 10 x square plus 6 into minus 2 by 3 plus 2 into x minus 14 into minus 2 by 3 minus 2. So hx is equal to 2x cube plus 6 multiplied by 4 upon 9 minus 10 x square plus this 3 2s are 6, so minus 4 plus 2 x, here minus minus plus 28 by 3 minus 2. Okay, so hx is equal to 2x cube plus 8 upon 3 minus 10 x square minus 2x plus 28 minus 6 upon 3. So finally here I will write hx, that is 2x cube plus 8 minus 30, that is minus 22 upon 3 x square minus 2x plus 22 upon 3 plus 22 upon 3. Okay, so now I have to check it for, okay, now I will find now h of minus 1. Okay, now I am going to check whether this polynomial is divisible by x plus 1 or not. So this I will get 2 into minus 1 cube, okay, minus 22 by 3 into minus 1 square minus 2 into minus 1 plus 22 by 3. Okay, so h of minus 1 finally I am writing over here. Therefore h of minus 1 is equal to, this is minus 2, this is minus 22 by 3, okay, this is plus 2 and this is plus 22 by 3. So therefore h of minus 1 is equal to 0, because this clearly says, see, we have to find that value of a for which the polynomial is not divisible by x plus 1. For a equal to minus 2 by 3, polynomial is divisible by that. Okay, so definitely our answer is 2. Okay, that we just check for our confirmation. Okay, so here I can write, therefore hx is divisible by x plus 1. So final answer is a equal to 2. So please note it down. We'll see the next question. Okay, now we'll see the next question. Okay, next question is, if x plus a is a factor of x square plus px plus q and x square plus mx plus n, then find the value of a, then find the value of a in terms of m, n, p and q. Okay, that means we can say, so then find the value of a in terms of the coefficients of the polynomial. Okay, so here it is given x plus a is a factor of this. So think that how you will proceed, then I will give it solution. It is not that much difficult. First of all, let me say this polynomial is gx, and let me say this polynomial is hx. Okay, so it is given that x plus a is a factor of gx. X plus a is a factor of gx. Therefore, I can say g of minus a is equal to 0. Therefore, I can say minus a square plus p into minus a plus q equal to 0. That is a square minus ap plus q is equal to 0. Also, it is given x plus a is a factor of hx. Okay, now x plus a is a factor of hx. Therefore, I can say h of minus a is equal to 0, and hence I can say a square minus ma plus n is equal to 0. Let's say this is equation number 1, and this is equation number 2, and this is equation number 1. Now, if you observe equation, their right hand sides are equal, isn't it? Here it is 0, here it is 0. As their right hand sides are equal, but obvious their left sides must be equal. So if I compare these two equations, I'll get the value of a. From first and second, I can say a square minus ap plus q is equal to a square minus ma plus n. Okay, so a square cancel. I need to get the value of a. So what I will do, I will take the terms of a on their side. So I took this ma on this side minus ap as it is n minus q. I took q on that side. So if I take a common, m minus p is equal to n minus q. So a is equal to n minus q upon m minus p. This is my final answer, value of a in terms of m and p q, n minus q upon m minus p. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now next question is, it's a little bit different question, not difficult, simple long division, but let us see how many of you are able to get approach that how to solve this. Very simple question. Divide x raised to 4. Okay, divide x raised to 4 minus a raised to 4 by x minus a, and hence find quotient. Okay, you have to divide the given polynomial by x minus a and you have to find the quotient. See, it is in a first look, definitely we can say x raised to 4 minus a raised to 4 is divisible by x minus a. Okay, so thing is that you have to find the quotient. Okay, also you can find the remainder is definitely 0, so that's why I wrote only to find the quotient. So try for a while, then I will give you its solution. Okay, let us see how to divide this, how to solve this. See, if you stick with the very basic rules of division, of long division, that first of all the dividend and the divisor polynomial must be in their standard. If you follow that, it is very easy to get its solution. So x raised to 4 minus a raised to 4, this is not at all in its standard form. This is okay, it's a linear polynomial, so it starts with 1 and goes up to 0. So actually I have to do this x minus a. Now I have to divide this by another polynomial x raised to 4. Okay, x raised to 4 plus 0x cube. Okay, as I told you that you have to write the given polynomial in standard form, that means that should contain all the terms of powers of variable starting from the maximum power. So as x, there isn't any term of x cube, so I took 0x cube, then similarly 0x square, then similarly 0 into x, and finally minus a raised to 4. Now it is not that much difficult. However, for solution of this, it is not necessary that we use the long division method. There is one more method, but first we will see with the long division method. So now first term of the quotient, to get that we'll divide the first term of the dividend by first term of the divisor. So here it will be x cube. So x cube into x, that is x raised to 4 minus ax cube, minus ax cube. Now I will subtract over here, so minus plus, so ultimately I got ax cube plus 0x square. Okay, I will bring down next term, only one term, because there are two terms, so here I need two terms. So now next, ax cube upon x, that gives you ax square plus ax square. So ax square into x, that is ax cube, ax square into minus a, that is minus a square x square, minus a square x square. Now again when I subtract, here it will be minus, here it will be plus. So this will cancel out, 0x square plus a square x square. So here I will get a square x square plus 0x. Now again to obtain the next term of the, I will divide the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor. So here I got a square x plus a square x. So a square x into x, that is a square x square. Then a square x into minus a is minus a cube x. So minus plus, this will cancel out. Here I will get a cube x minus a raised to 4. Okay, minus a raised to 4. Now next term it should be plus a cube. So a cube x minus a raised to 4. So here I got my final answer, because here remainder is 0. So this is my quotient polynomial. So here I can write, okay, thus qx, that is quotient polynomial, is equal to x cube plus ax square plus a square x plus a cube. Okay, I hope this was not difficult question. The only thing that should come in your mind, that you have to write the dividend polynomial in its standard form, then it is very easy. So please note it down. Okay, now let us see the next question. Given the polynomial is exactly divisible by, given the polynomial is exactly divisible by x plus divisible by x plus 1 when it is divided by, and when it is divided by, it is divided by, and when it is divided by 3x minus 1, the remainder is 4. The remainder is the polynomial gives a remainder hx, a remainder hx plus k when divided by when divided by 3x square plus x plus 2x, actually plus 2x minus 1. Then find the value of h and k. Find h and k. So we already solved this type of question. The only thing is over here that the question is framed in little bit different way. So think for a while, then I will give you its solution. Okay, so now we'll see its solution. Hope some of you got the solution, but let us see how to simplify this. Okay, so here it is given the polynomial is divisible by x plus 1. Okay, so this particular line, the polynomial is divisible by x plus 1, gives me very first information, that is if the polynomial is px, then p of 1 is equal to 0. So suppose polynomial is p of x. Now px is divisible by x plus 1, therefore p of minus 1 is equal to 0, isn't it? Polynomial is divisible by x plus 1, so p of minus 1 equal to 0. Also polynomial gives a remainder, also when it is divided by 3x minus 1, remainder is 4. Also when px is divided by 3x minus 1, remainder is 4. Okay, remainder is 4, therefore I can say p of 1 upon 3 is equal to 4, not 0. P of 1 upon 3 is equal to 4. Okay, now it is given when px is divided by this remainder hx plus k. Okay, now when px is divided by px is divided by 3x square plus 2x minus 1, then remainder is hx plus k. It means I can say p of x is 3x square plus 2x minus 1 into q, where I am considering that q is quotient. Like this, I divided px, okay, by this 3x square plus 2x minus 1. Okay, so after solving, here I am remainder getting hx plus k. Definitely here something will be there, so I can write px is equal to qx into this. Okay, px is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. You can understand this in that way, that if I divide 9 by 2, okay, so remainder is 1. Here it is something like quotient, so I can send 2 into qx is equal to 1. Actually here it should be 4. Okay, so 2 into 4 plus 1 is equal to 9. Similarly, this multiplied with this plus this is equal to this. So that is division algorithm actually. Okay, so using that I can write px is equal to 3x square plus 2x minus qx plus hx plus k into qx plus hx plus k, that is the remainder. Okay, so now what we have to do further? Think for a while, then give you it further. Okay, so now see two things that you should understand. First thing, that if you find the factors of this, definitely you will get x x plus 1 and 3x minus 1. Definitely you will get these two factors. In 99 99% cases. So that means if I put x equal to 1 over here or minus 1 over here, this term is going to be 0. Similarly, when I put x equal to 1 by 3 over here, again this term is going to be 0. Okay, so ultimately in both the cases I will get the value of, or get the relation between h and k. So this is now p of minus 1. Okay, why I am taking p of minus 1 directly? Because I have that value p of minus 1 is if I put x equal to 3 into minus 1 square, okay, plus 2 into minus 1 minus 1 multiplied by qx plus h into minus 1 plus k. I simply want it wherever x is there, I put x equal to minus 1. So this will give me, so p of minus 1 I have already, that is 0. Now here if you check, it is 3 minus 2 minus 1, that means 0. Okay, still I am writing that step 3 minus 2 minus 1 multiplied by qx minus h plus k. So 0, this is 0, so simply I can say minus h plus k equal to 0. Therefore 0 is equal to minus h plus k, or I can say k minus h is equal to 0. This is my first equation. Okay, p of when I put x equal to minus 1, I got relation between k and h, that is k minus h equal to 0. Similarly, when I put p equal to 1 by 3, definitely again this term becomes 0, and over here I will get 4, so again I will get a relation between h and k, and then by simplifying those two relations I'll be able to get the values of h and k. So note it down up to this point, as well as try to get the second equation, and then we'll see how to solve it further. Okay, now we'll see the second equation. We'll obtain the second equation with the help of this information. So now p of 1 by 3, p of 1 by 3 is equal to, here I will put x equal to 1 by 3, 3 into 1 upon 3 square plus 2 into 1 upon 3 minus 1, okay, minus 1 bracket close into qx plus h into 1 by 3 plus k. Okay, and value of p of 1 by 3 is 4, so therefore 4 is equal to, 3 multiplied by 1 upon 9, okay, 1 by 3 square is 1 by 9 plus 2 by 3 minus 1 multiplied by qx plus h upon 3 plus k. Okay, now therefore 4 is equal to, here it is 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3 minus 1 into qx plus, here I can write h plus 3k upon 3. Okay, I took the LCM. So this I need k minus h is equal to 0, that I am writing over here. Okay, Now on solving it further, this is almost done. See here, 4 is equal to 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3, that is 3 by 3, that is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So 0 multiplied by qx plus h plus 3k upon 3. So 4 is equal to h plus 3k upon 3. So I can write 12 is equal to h plus 3k, or finally I can write 3k plus h is equal to 12. This is my equation number 2. Okay, 3k plus h, and over here it is k minus h equal to 0. Now by solving these two equations I will get the value of h and k, and that is required. Okay, that we need to find. Note it down up to this point, then I will give you the remaining solution. Okay, so let us solve it further. Just by adding these two, I will get the value of one variable, and from here I can see h and k are equal. So whatever is the value of one variable will be the value of second variable. So now we'll add these two equations. That means now adding equation 1 and 2. Now adding first and second. Here I have k minus h equal to 0. Here I have 3k plus h equal to 0. That is 4k is equal to, not 0, here actually I had 12. That is 4k equal to 12. Therefore k is equal to 3. Okay, now put k equal to 3 in first. Put k equal to 3 in first. So 3 minus h is equal to 0. Therefore 3 is equal to h. Therefore h is equal to 3. So value of k and h is same. Okay, k equal to 3, h equal to 3. So that is final. Please note it down, then we'll see next question. Now let us see the next question. Okay, next question is find the remainder when find the remainder when x raised to 100 is divided by divided by x square minus 3x plus 2. Okay, x square minus 3x plus 2. You have to find the remainder when x raised to 100 is divided by x square minus 3x plus 2. So let us see how to find this. See, first of all, two things. That first of all we'll assume what is the remainder, and that assumption depends on the divisor. Here divisor, that means the polynomial by which we are going to divide this x raised to 100 is a quadratic polynomial. That means the degree of this divisor is 2. That shows that remainder must be a polynomial whose degree is less than 2. It might be 1, it might be 0, but definitely less than 2. So we'll start with the linear. Okay, so suppose remainder or required remainder is ax plus b. That is the required remainder we assumed. Now, okay, it is the required remainder. Suppose the remainder is ax plus b. Now I am assuming this the given polynomial is px or okay. Now I can write px is equal to, or x raised to 100 is equal to, see again I will give you this concept, that is if I am dividing x raised to 100 by x square minus 3x plus 2, definitely there will be something like qx, and here remainder is ax plus b I assumed. So I can write this x raised to 100 is equal to product of this plus, isn't it? Dividend is equal to divisor plus remainder. Using this concept I can write x raised to 100 is equal to x square minus 3x plus 2 into qx plus ax plus b. Okay, therefore I can write x raised to 100 is equal to, see now I will try to find the factors of this x square minus 3x plus 2. So x square minus 2x minus x plus 2 by splitting the middle term, qx plus ax plus b. Therefore x raised to 100 is equal to, here I can take x common, so x minus 2, here I can take minus 1 common, so x minus 2 into qx plus ax plus b. Therefore I can say x raised to 100 is equal to x minus 2 x minus 1 into qx plus ax plus b. See, up to this I hope it's clear. Definitely the divisor polynomial will be factorized. Is it possible to factorize the divisor polynomial? Now this two factors will help us to get the value of a and b. Once I get the value of a and b, I get the required remainder. Now if you observe this properly, x minus 2 x minus 1, that means if I put x equal to 1 in this complete equation, this first becomes 0, because multiplied by anything is 0. Directly I get the value of, or direct relation between a and b. Similarly if I put x equal to 2, again this will become 0. Okay, that means we actually, this is the main target, that we have to find one or two such values by which we can make term 0, so that we can get directly relation between a, and that is possible in this taking x equal to 1 as well as taking x equal to 2. So now I will take x equal to 1. So now for x equal to 1 I can write 1 raised to 100. Okay, 1 raised to 100, 1 minus 2, 1 minus 1 into q of 1, doesn't matter whatever it is, plus a into 1 plus b. Ultimately this becomes 0, so I can write therefore 1 is equal to 0 plus a plus b, or I can write a plus b is equal to 1. This is my first relation between A and B. Now similarly I obtain one more relation between A and B, and then by solving those two I will get the values of A and B. So note it down up to this point, then we'll see how to get the second relation and then how to get the values of A and B. Okay, now for x equal to 2, we'll solve the same thing for x equal to 2. When I take x equal to 2, okay, so now for x is equal to 2, I put x equal to 2 over here. So 2 raised to 100 is equal to 2 minus 2 into 2 minus 1 into q of 2 plus a into 2 plus b. Simply I kept x equal to 2. So this gives me 2 raised to 100 is equal to 0 multiplied by whatever 0, 2a plus b. Okay, therefore I can say here I got 2a plus b is equal to 2 raised to 100. That is my equation number 2. Now by solving these two I will get the values of a and b. Okay, so I'm writing those two equations all together. Okay, a plus b is equal to 1. That is the equation, that was the equation number 1. Now I will solve this. Solve this means to I will get the values of a and b. So it is very easy. If I subtract equation 1 from 2, I will get the value of any one variable. Okay, so next, now on subtracting first from second, we get, let us see what we will get. I'm solving that over here. I will subtract first from the second. Okay, so I will subtract first from second. So here I have 2a plus b is equal to 2 raised to 100, and here I have a plus b is equal to 1. So on subtracting I will get 2a minus a, that is a, b and b cancel, 2 raised to 100 minus 1. This remains as it is. Okay, that is the value of a. Now as I got the value of a, put the value of a in any of the equation, either in 1 or in second, to get the value of b. So try to get that value and then I will give it further solution. Simply I will put the value of a in 1. Put a equal to 2 raised to 100 minus 1 in first. So 2 raised to 100 minus 1 plus b is equal to 1. So therefore b is equal to 1 plus 1 minus 2 raised to 100. Okay, this one I will take on that side, so plus 1, and this 2 raised to 100, when I will take on that side, minus 2 raised to 100. So b is equal to 2 minus 2 raised to 100. So now I got the values of a and b. Simply I will put over here to get the remainder. So that I am writing over here. Okay, now remainder is equal to ax plus b. Therefore I am taking it rx is equal to a is 2 raised to 100 minus 1 x, b is 2 minus 2 raised to 100. That is my remainder when we divide x raised to 100 by x square minus 3x plus 2. So please note it down. Okay, so I hope that is clear to you. The only thing which was little bit confusing over here, that here constant term was not like 7, 9, 11, like it is 2 raised to 100. Otherwise it is almost similar to the that means it is easy to solve the equations in two variables. If we have two relation in two variables, it is always easy to solve. So here we had two equation, 2a plus b equal to 2 raised to 100 and a plus b equal to 1. By solving these two equations, here I got the value of a, 2 raised to 100 minus 1. That value of a I kept in equation number 1 to get the value of b. Okay, and that is 2 minus 2 raised to 100. Then in the starting we assumed our remainder is ax plus b, so I just kept that value of a and b over here. So 2 raised to 100 minus 1 multiplied by x plus 2 minus 2 raised to 100. So that is final answer. So that is all about this lecture. Okay, as well as this chapter. Now in next lecture we'll start new chapter. Till then, bye, thank you, take care, stay at home.